Greetings, Captains, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I'm Captain Tirak. Yes, last episode we did receive a promotion of Heavy Cruiser USS Richmond as we continue our campaign. It has indeed become a campaign against the Romulan Star Empire. And the last episode we had managed to get vengeance for the USS Krieger, who had been ambushed by Romulan forces, and then take out a Romulan dreadnought, although unfortunately we weren't quite able to take out the space station by the Romulan dreadnought. However, we did manage to survive the battle, even taking a plasma R torpedo to the face. And here we need to go back for a little bit of repair work before we will rush back to this tile and hopefully capture it soon. So without further adu, let us set out into space because we're kind of low on supplies. 72 points of damage. We're also at 1813 prestige. Is there any sort of ship that's around? There's a CC Plus, which I believe we're in. Missile rank G? No, this is the same CC Plus that we're in. Yep. So no reason to buy one of those. We're not quite in range to. Are there any more expensive vessels? You know, battle cruisers, for example. Doesn't quite look like it yet. There is a light dreadnought for sale for 4,800, but as you can see, the light dreadnought is, well, it's not exactly bristling with firepower. It's basically a battle cruiser, except on a larger hull form. Pocket battleships, you might want to call it. Although that might be a bit too generous. So we're just going to restock the systems really quick. We need a decent number of Marines, a single mine that we used to decent effect, causing a dreadnought to decloak, and a couple of spare parts which we had desperately used. So popping back, come on, let's make sure we make it there before anything can come up. It's a surprise reversed. Oh, we don't want the base assault. We're very specifically not picking the base assault for a couple of reasons. The first reason is we would lose. Base assaults, when you're playing Federation, they will not end in your favor. I'm sorry, you're just not equipped to handle them. Number two, we want the space station alive. We want to take it, capture it, and hold it for ourselves. That way, when the tile flips to our side, we'll be able to use that as a base of operations against the nearby planets and star bases. And yeah, that's our plan moving forward. This will be a big boon to us, quite frankly, because we will be able to, well, we'll be able to use it as a jumping off point into the rest of the Empire. Granted, our ships are not quite as, I don't want to say they're not as capable, but they're not as super heavily armed as most of the other major factions, simply because the photon torpedo, while a fantastic weapon, is not a high alpha weapon. It's 8 damage. When you're dealing with weapons like missiles that deal 24, plasma torpedoes that deal at a minimum 20 damage, and hellbores, which will always hit your weakest shield, a Federation ship just does not siege all that great. It was also pointed out, Klingons have basically the same problem. Their primary heavy weapon is the Disruptor, which on a super basic level, you can kind of just say that it's a photon torpedo at half power that gets to shoot twice as quickly. By half power, I mean half strength. You still spend just as much energy charging up a Disruptor as you do a photon torpedo. It's kind of funny, actually. But I digress. This is our maximum speed in this ship. We are not capable of making a speed of 31 while having weapons charged and ready to go, which is a bit sad, but that's the life that we lead. Unfortunately, we have no escorts in this, so we're just going to have to do this as fast as we possibly can. We have a decent number of phasers to do this with, so hopefully we can get this done relatively easily. Set up that forward shield to the maximum reinforcement. Unfortunately, I am seeing also 3 light cruisers and 2 frigates, so this could be rough. We could find ourselves in a position where we're not able to take out everybody. CWL, CLP, and a CL. So you're a full-on light cruiser. You are, I don't know what you are, but I don't think you're as dangerous as this. Are you a PF tender? Possibly. I don't quite remember my Illyrian setups. So we're selecting all weapons. We're going to get right on top of them and basically blitz them with all the firepower that we have. Or maybe not. No, that's actually pretty considerable. We're not in range to... Ooh, actually, you have a heavy cruiser portrait. Why do you have a heavy cruiser portrait? That's pretty scary, actually. We will know what he's got shortly. Okay, so it is this guy who's the more dangerous by a long country mile. So every weapon, yeah, we're going to hurt ourselves with this, but it needs to be done. 96 damage, plus 24. That's the maximum we can do. We managed to deal a lot of damage in there. Also dented our forward shields kind of a bit. It's not great. Slow down, slow down. We need to charge all weapon systems at the maximum rate that we can, which means we are traveling at a speed of 14. We're going to come back around, hit the CLP again. Need to reduce him even further. He's got 4 disruptors and 2 expanding sphere generators, along with a host of phaser 1s. He is much less armed, and he is considerably less armed. So this is definitely a step up from the normal ship. So we're going to blitz a whole bunch more firepower into him. Good. The phasers did the job. Excellent. You were 4 phaser 1s, 6 phaser 1s, plus 2 disruptors, and you are just 4 phaser 1s and 2 disruptors. So this is the upgraded version. The CLP indicating it's phaser, the phaser 1 shoulder upgrade. An interesting choice. So if we hit him hard and fast enough, we might be able to prevent anybody from turning on. That would be a very good thing. Let's slow down the ship. Just make sure that we're not going to hit anything. Actually, I kind of want to make sure that I can get all the phasers to fire before we pass over him. Phasers are almost ready to shoot, so phaser select. And wait for it. All the phasers. Photon torpedoes. 2 photon torpedo shots in there. A couple of missiles. More photon torpedoes. Unfortunately, we did not manage to mime the last one, because, as you can see, we weren't able to take him out. We're just going to sit here for a little bit while we just blast on into him. We've taken out most of his weapon systems. That got him. All right, on to the last one. We can't get through his point defense with just the missile. We are going to have to wait a little bit so that we can get, the heavier weapons involved, because otherwise he'll just shoot it down. So we need to stun his systems offline before he's going to be able to do anything. Unfortunately, we're 6 turns into this. Slow down the speed of time. And photon torpedoes, all select, all target. 4 good hits on the photon torpedoes. All of the weapons, phasers out. Come on, please tell me that we've got a high energy turn. The heavy cruiser just went active. Heavy cruiser? Who's a heavy cruiser? It's probably you, because you do have a heavy cruiser ported. Yep, it is him. So we are now under considerable fire from the Ripping Fang. He has come online and is attempting to exact his revengeance here. We have only managed to take out one of his disruptors, his shuttle bay, and one of his phaser 3 mounts. I can produce a scatter pack. Just in case. I know it's taking a lot of ammunition away from us, but just in case, this could be very, very useful. Let's get the phasers going out, punching on it in through there. Unfortunately, he managed to shoot down that missile. I was about to order Marines to go in and, blow stuff up, but that turned out not to be what we were going to be doing. We don't have a great turn here, and I do think I want a high energy turn just as soon as those photon torpedoes get online, just to make sure that we kill him, because I think we will be able to kill him in one good shot. Need to not select any of the, not all the weapons, because we don't want to be using our missile launcher right now. So select all, unselect the missile launcher, come back around. There we go, that's what we needed. On to the police ships. We got 2 police ships. They are desperately trying to power up, but they're not particularly strong. As you can see, it's 2 phaser 2s, 2 phaser 3s, and a single disruptor mount. So they're not really the strongest guys out there. We should be able to pull up on them and hit them pretty hard. And of course, the surprise reverse is always great for generating a pretty decent amount of prestige. It should be 300, I want to say, just for doing this. We got the Enforcer in our sights. Our phasers are currently cycling back around. I'd like to get all the phasers on target. Hopefully that'll lead to an overload. Scatter pack is ready to rock should we require it. All the phasers getting involved there. We've managed to shock most of his systems offline. And the missile doing the follow-up to kill him. So all we got to do now is take this out. We do have a missile ready to work with this. I'm not going to fire the scatter pack. We're going to save the shuttle. Nope. Oh, he's picked up his speed. He's online. Yep. The destroyer just became active. I'm not a lieutenant commander anymore. We got promoted. And I assume, yeah, he immediately went into generating an attack shift because, like all clever captains, they want to try and avoid and take away the Federation's biggest advantage. We are within a range of 8. If I can close to 5, I'd like to be able to dump photon torpedoes into him. Tell me if that range starts to open up. We need to keep an eye on this. Make sure he's not trying to charge up. That's as close as we're going to get. Photon torpedoes. Only managed to get a couple of hits. Phasers to follow up in there. That's dealing a pretty decent amount of damage right there. His engine power has just completely dropped off. He's down to a speed of 19 from 21, which puts us in a really nice position. Phasers only. We're going to pull around and just try and get the phasers in that gap there. It's only a phaser 3, so it's not a ton of damage, but it's something to write home about. He's down to an engine speed of 3. I'm going to pull out the long way. That did give an opportunity to shoot at my weakened shield, but we've got him dead to rights. We're just going to pull around here for a classic Federation firing pass and hit him with everything we've got. We may not even need the photon torpedoes. I hope we don't. Nope, we'll need them. Photon torpedoes are where it's at. They did the last of the damage that was required, and we did take him out. Well job. See how much prestige. It should be 300. I'm pretty certain, which will put us at right around 2,000 prestige, which is a nice number to be sitting at. We'll be sort of in shouting distance. Yep, 2003. It's the year 2003. That'll put us in shouting distance of being able to go after a battle cruiser, which is what I'm really kind of looking for. I haven't seen them come up. Federation normal dreadnought is 35 prestige. It's only got 4 photon torpedoes. It's not a good pick. Just going to put that out there. Not really seeing anything that we're interested in. Nope, none of them. I don't really want to take a salvage mission. It's a boring mission that we do not need to do. We will quickly come in here, and we're just going to restock the 4 missiles that we spent. And we're still in the mid-era, which is nice. So we'll pop down into this planet here. Apparently this is the homeworld. Oh god, we found Romulus. Hi. Didn't quite mean to attack Romulus. We kind of need bigger ships to do this. Need a red alert. Got a heavy cruiser, a frigate, a frigate, a frigate, a frigate. So just a single heavy cruiser. I'm going to prep a scatter pack. We're going to hit him hard and fast. So let's pick up all the speed that we can get at our disposal and increase the speed of time as we just rush on in here. Hard and fast is the message of the day, because if they start charging up... oh, they're Klingon ships. Okay. Not nearly as worried. I thought they were Romulan, and if they were Romulan, if any of them got online, it was going to be a fight. But Klingon ships, we can take them. We can handle it. So the first of the scatter packs will be ready. We'll prep a second scatter pack just in case. We want to be able to make sure that we can deal as much damage as possible here. And I think we're just going to blast on into them with everything we've got. We're not going to overcharge the photon torpedoes, because overcharging won't get us what we want. Well, we do want to blow up ships, but we'd have to slow down to do it. As you can see, we can't maintain maximum speed doing this, which is a shame, I want to say. Dump that. All weapon select. Slow down. This is going to hurt ourselves, but hey. Point-blank range shots into the target. We managed to eat up some of his phaser fire, and here comes the rest of them. I think we've got him here dead. Oh, we shot down most of them. Wow. Pretty considerable number got shot down. I am surprised and dismayed. I was really hoping for a full kill on that. He is only a K7. Oh no, he's a D6B. He's not even a K7. So even weaker. I see the difference. Basically, he's got a weaker forward phaser. The D7s have a phaser 1 mount up here, and the phaser 2's on the shoulders. And the older... Is that an older... Yeah, that's an older Rack A. Basically, one of the first heavy cruisers we got was pretty similar to this. Next scatter pack is ready, but hopefully we'll be able to take this guy out without needing to use it. So we're going to pull up right on top of him, and phasers to kill him, and it did. Excellent. All right, let's get sensor range. You've got 5 anti-missile defense systems. You got a full-on actual anti-missile defense system. You've got 3, and yeah, you've got a full. So I'm going to dump this at you. Maybe it'll get through. Maybe it won't. We'll find out. Photon torpedoes on the select. Slow down nice and slowly so we can get on top of them. And it's just going to be the photon torpedoes, unfortunately. Probably sacrificing being able to kill him in one salvo by shooting those early, but it's the price of doing business. Get ready to hit him with all the phasers. I do think the phasers should be able to clean up the job quite nicely. Yep, they did a fantastic job. And got some damage past the shield. We will dump a missile on his way just to add in a little bit extra damage into those shields. And hopefully that'll kill him. He's a G4. So he's not exactly the biggest thing in the universe. Really, we probably should have focused on these F5s. The F5 is a very nice frigate design. Yeah, that went right through. Took out most of his systems, but only managed to take out one of his actual weapons systems. So we're going to come up on here. We've got a photon torpedo ready to go. You are an F5D, and you're an F5K. The D is a drone version, so I'm kind of going to actually ignore you, because I've got pretty decent point defense systems. And I really want to fire this missile launcher back at you again, but I think... Oh, what the heck, we'll give it a shot. Oh, did not realize we were that close to you. So, dump a whole bunch of firepower in there. Slow way down, because my photon torpedoes are about to come online. I'd like to be able to shoot them in your face, sir. Wait for it. One more tick. And triple photon torpedo to the face. Everything hit. No problem in there. Unfortunately, he's not dead. So, again, we're going to have to sit here just a little bit while we blast everything we have into him. So, we'll wait for the cycle on the phasers. And phaser cycle. There we go. Now I want to just see if this gets through. It's the last missile. We may as well shoot it. There's no reason not to at this point. And we are going to focus on this last F5. It has the most firepower to deal with. All weapons fire! Unfortunately, he has just come online. We were able to get a pretty considerable hit on in there. And we're going to go tractor beams to defense engage. We're also going to come over here to electronic countermeasures and go 1 point of ECM in there. And how am I doing on power, just in general? I have 3.5 points of energy in my forward shield. That I probably don't need, actually. Okay. You're going to hold on to me, huh? I will fire a whole... Wait for the phasers. And then we fire the rest. I was about to just fire a whole bunch of phasers into him. I was like, wait a second. That's what he wants me to do. Because if I had fired my phasers there, probably wouldn't have killed him, and those missiles would have hurt us. Let's get the stern firing phasers involved in here. Well, not stern. The one forward side firing phaser. And I expect you to come online at any moment. Basically mauled you into being useless. So I want to just zip on over here, get a shot in. That way we can kill him before we actually have to fight him. And we have energy from the weapon systems being fully charged. I think phasers ought to be enough to finally finish you off. They were. Alright, now let's soar on back in here, and we'll finish him off. So the Klingons apparently placing several of their units in Romulan space for backup defense. That was not cool. Did the forward shield held anyway. Okay. Apparently the phasers didn't operate on their normal point defense orders, which they should have. But the game does weird things when you start playing at maximum speed. So another successful mission there, another successful 300 prestige. Unfortunately, this is going to require a lot of effort to get through. So we're going to slip off that tile for a little bit. Check into the mission. It's a planetary assault or a shipyard assault. Both of these are bad missions for us. We'll try the planetary assault just to see what we're getting involved in. If we're lucky, it'll be a weakly defended planet where we can just sit at range and plow into. And we've got a single heavy cruiser on range at this time. And are you Romulan? The KRMB, the Jaya... Yeah, that sounds Romulan. Let's do this and this, so that we've got missiles set up for an emergency scatter pack should they be required, which we know they will be. He's immediately going way high on his ECM defense, so we're gonna preempt him there, pouring a whole bunch of power into systems. We are escorted by a Gorn BF, the Triceracon. I believe the last Triceracon we ran into was like a Dreadnought, wasn't it? Or was that the Chromaticon? It was a Dreadnought that got blown up. Might have been the Triceracon. He's armed with 2 anti-plasma torpedoes, a host of Phaser 1s, and a couple of Phaser 3s thrown in for good measure. It is PL6. Let's find out what PL6 has for its defenses. Oh, we got another heavy cruiser. That's a Hawk. So I assume you're a K7. Actually, let's check you out. No, you're a KRMB, which means you're a refit, which has... Oh, you're a Muller. Okay. That's an interesting pick. And then the planet itself it's a weakened planet. Excellent. So this planet cannot defend itself. If we kill these 2 guys, we can then just park up next to the planet and shell it with everything we've got. And that is indeed my plan. He's gone up to, wow, 6 points of electronic countermeasure. I will track you all the way through those 6. Don't think I won't. So we're going to go all 6 into there, because I'm going to stop you from being frustrating. And I think I'm just going to set up proximity photon torpedoes. He did fire his Muller, and then he dropped and cloaked. So I'm going to fire this at you. Ooh, all good hits. Nice shooting there, Tex. So it looks like our current officer who is in charge of that sort of thing is relatively skilled with that sort of thing. Looks like the KRMB has taken a pretty considerable hit right there. We are getting run up on, which is a problem. I don't have a whole lot of good angles to turn on this. But I could launch a missile into his face. Let's do it. And I will have photon torpedoes ready to go very shortly. Set them to normal mode. And we're going to slow down. We're going to slow down because I'm anticipating a big plasma barrage that I would like to be able to counter. 1, 2. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. 3. Now. Unfortunately, I messed up on that very slightly. The main thing being that I forgot to turn this off, which means I just wasted a whole bunch of phaser firepower that I'd rather fire into him. He's fired all of his weapons except for a single F-type plasma torpedo. And, yep. That's what I was concerned about. We're going to high energy turn this. We're going to see if we can't track him. The reason why we're doing a speed of 4 is because we are still covered by that shuttle as long as we're at a speed of 4. It allowed us to basically drop our shuttle with 0 lag and give me a good shot here. Not too bad. We managed to get 3 hits on a target. Unfortunately, it wasn't all the hits that I wanted, but our phasers should be able to crunch through that. We are going to take a big hit here because this plasma F torpedo, I'm sure, has the angle here. Unless I can drive past him. And I might... Oh, this is going to leave us open to a lot of phaser firepower. Yep, cut through our shields and managed to hurt us something fierce. These heavy cruisers are a generation above us. They honestly are. We got a nice big mine in there. Unfortunately, I don't have any shots to fire back into him, except for the anti-missile defense system, which is more than willing to try. And I got another plasma torpedo headed our way. We're going to have to tank it. We don't have a choice. We don't have a Wild Weasel right yet, because we weren't charging it. We're out of shuttles in this fight, which is not good. However, we are now going to have an opportunity to repair our systems. Let's get the Phaser 1 and the Phaser 3. And are you out of cloak? You are. And you don't have a shuttle bay. You're mine. Dump that right on into him. That'll take him out of the fight. And I want the Chromaticon focused on the Firehawk. Because as long as... Please tell me you didn't cloak. Please tell me you can't cloak. As long as if the Chromaticon joins me on fighting this Firehawk, we've got him outnumbered. When it comes to plasma boats, numbers wins all the time. And come on, cascade failure? No, not quite. Oh crap! Get moving! Get moving! Get moving! I don't have a shuttle here. This is horrible. What is about to happen? Come on, give me a shot with the photon torpedoes. There we go! Oh, can I pull through? Can I pull through? And any weapon systems... Oh, we'll be able to get a couple more phaser ones on there. Right on in there. Defender ship destroyed. We need to sprint for the Chromaticon. He's turning off. He's disengaging because he doesn't want to get involved in a fight with the... oh, I keep calling it the Chromaticon. It's the Triceracon. Let's get our names right, people. We have lost a phaser, so I want to pull off here. That photon torpedo barrage actually did a pretty decent amount of damage there. 16 got through, so that means 2 photon torpedoes hit full on without any trouble. And now that the Triceracon is on him, now he's got a big stick heading his way. So we can pull out of this fight a little bit. We're going to head towards the edges, where we're going to operate our proximity photon torpedoes as best as we can. His speed's down to 16.8, which actually is good for us. If he takes any more serious hits and drops below that, then we can probably actually exploit him and just shell him from long range without it. Nope, he's picking up speed. So how much power am I currently spending on other things? Nothing, actually, so slow down a bit. Phaser capacitor is at full charge. We are now charging just the photon torpedoes. He's down to 16.7, dropping even more. All right, we're going to come on in. We've only got 2 photon torpedoes ready to go, but we should have 3 by the time we complete this turn. His forward shields aren't going to be towards us, which is not ideal, but I ain't sticking around. He's picking up speed, so must we. So we're going to set our reinforcements on our shields to the stern shield only. And we're going to drop a mine, just sort of tell him to back off a bit. He did fire one of his... Is that an S or an F? It's an S-type plasma torpedo. We got to run. We got to hopefully get out of range of this. We are already at a pretty decent clip, and he did fire from relatively long range, so we should be able to get out of his range before he can start dealing any harm to us. But we're just going to have to keep going, keep running, and make sure that defensive phasers are not going to shoot at that, and it is burning itself out. Him chasing us gives the Triceracon an opportunity to engage, which is exactly what we're kind of looking to do here. So if he pulls away from us, we can just start plinking away. If he pulls away from the Triceracon, then the Triceracon gets to chase after him. So either way, he's just in a little bit of trouble. It's not too much. I mean, he can handle what's happening, what's coming his way. And if this were a player, this is still a fight he can probably win. But because it is the AI, I don't think he really has much of an opportunity to actually take victory in this one. So we're going to wait. Photon torpedoes, 2 more. Got 1 hit on there. He's currently not generating any kind of attack shift. We are shoving a ton of power into our electronic countermeasure. We're going to drop a lot of that away. He's just fired a whole mess of firepower. Please tell me that he does have a Wow Weasel. Excellent. So he'll drop below the speed, which will eat up all of those. And we're going to take some time to build in some distance here. Do I have any power in the ship? Yeah, I've got 2 points of energy that I can currently sap away. Let's go fixing things. It's just the AMD. I'm not going to fix the AMD. Oh, also we're going to fix it. We have the spare parts. We may as well. The Avis Claris has now just jettisoned a Wild Weasel. He's down to 0 power, and it looks like his forward sector is open. So we're going to come in here, see if we can't get a photon torpedo. Oh, we were firing a normal. Whoops. Proximity fire only. Took out that shield. Excellent. We've got 3 more photon torpedoes charging up for another shot on here. If we can get a good shot, we can hopefully knock out something. Somebody just plasma anchored. Come on, another photon torpedo. Another good hit on in there. We're just steadily working away at him. We gotta be a little bit cagey. We can't be too close to him. And yeah, that big plasma torpedo did a lot of damage. And we are now within range, so normal photon torpedoes. Unfortunately, we didn't get an opportunity to fire. Okay, I see how it is. Alright, onto the planet. Maximum speed of time. The planet is defenseless. It's got 16 phaser, or it's either got 8 or 16 phaser 3s. Either way, it doesn't matter, because we're just going to set outside the range of 3. And when we do that, we're just going to, well, shell it. And we'll be able to shell with actual overloaded photon torpedoes, which are not wow, you missed every single shot. I know why. Let me guess. Yep. Alright, we've got to beat that out of them. Power. I've got 1 point of energy still left, so we'll do that. So we're just going to soar on in here. Hopefully we won't crash. Crashing is bad. We try to avoid that whenever possible. Photon torpedoes. There we go, 8 damage. The first of the damage onto the planet. We're going to slow down nice and gently here. Slowly approach. We do not want to hit it. We do not want to die. We want to steal the planet, not crash into the planet. Just be careful of these rings. I don't know if the rings actually do anything. I'm a little bit worried about it. Am I going to get a last shot with proximity photon torpedoes long range? I will not. Normal photon torpedoes. 16 damage. That means 2 photon torpedoes managed to hit. And we're going to slow down. High. All weapons select. Engage. We're not going to stop just yet. We don't need to. We're just going to... Hopefully we're not actually smashing into a planet. Because that would be really bad. And the only reason I'm stopping is because he's got rings and I'm worried about smashing into a planet. So now we get to dump the photon torpedoes directly on into him. We get to cause as much damage as we want. And we don't really care about any screen except for this screen, which is how many people are left on the planet. As soon as we kill everybody, we're done here. I do not have... Yeah, we use the scatter pack on the Mauler. Unfortunately, it didn't kill it. I was really kind of disappointed with that, because I was kind of expecting the Mauler to kill it. Let's see, if it would be... We're just trying to figure out how much damage. It takes a third more of the time, but it does 50% more damage. Or 100% more damage. So yeah, it would actually make sense to overload the photon torpedoes. We'll do that after the next salvo, just so we don't lose any time on them. So all of them select. Set them to overload. We'll take the additional time. They are less accurate, though, so there is that to keep in mind. It's down to 11 people on board the planet, as we'll just continue to blast away. Down to 9. 7 more, and we'll have it. This will be our first successful planetary assault operation ever. Well, not ever, but in this campaign. Down to 4. Excellent. Looks like we got a pretty decent number of photon torpedoes to hit him there. Come on, one more phaser volley might do it. It'll be close. Yep, it did it. Send in the Marines. Slowly turn the ship around, just so we can start pulling away from it, because, you know, always paranoid about crashing into planets. We're not going to invest any more Marines. We already have to replace quite a few of them. Provide more planetary bombardment using phasers. Pinpoint phaser accuracy. Like we saw in the original series, we can basically sterilize an entire city block, if we choose to. A capability that was rarely ever used after that. Down to 0, so now they just need to secure the most important places, and we'll be done here. Pick up speed. Let's go. There we go. Planet captured. Excellent work all around. So with the planet under our belt and victory secured, 495 prestige in our pocket puts us at 2784, and we have just begun to pressure whatever planet this is. I think this is Remus, but I don't know what this one is. But that's going to wrap things up for us today. We've taken a little bit of damage, but we came out of the fight just all right. And yeah, we will continue the pressure. We may move a little bit further down the border or up the border just to cause some economic damage. But in the meantime, I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon. Leave a comment. Are you excited that we've started really crunching into Romulan territory? We have our first outpost. More will come. And I will see you all in the next episode.